So set to record, lovely. Sharing my screen. Okay, and we're off. Okay, Ashley, can you see this? Awesome, yay! Okay, so welcome everybody. Oh, too soon. Welcome to our live webinar. We hope this will be, really informative and also just a really good night of kind of hope and giving you an idea of what this crazy program is we're always talking about, hearing from real people, real clients, and kind of getting a better sense if you're unfamiliar with what Optavia is. So I'll start with a little bit about me. I'm your host. My name is Emily Flores. I live in Los Angeles, California with my husband and two boys, age 4 and 2. And I actually became a client of this program, my gosh, it's been over 4 years ago. And I had just had my first son. I was a nursing mom, and everyone told me not to worry about the weight gain, that I could just basically nurse away the pounds. And that was not the case for me. I was not the girl who lost weight from breastfeeding. My body actually really hung on to it, and I was very frustrated. I didn't know what to do. I was at the heaviest I'd ever been, and I grew up as an athlete and a dancer, and I think it's already confusing enough as a first-time mom to be just navigating motherhood, and to also feel like I wasn't comfortable in my own skin was really hard for me. So I reached out to a friend and asked him I finally wanted to know, what's this crazy program you've been talking about? Because I think I need something. And I started pretty quickly after that, and I was able to drop almost 50 pounds in 4 months doing a specific program for nursing moms. And it totally changed everything for me. Not only did I lose way more than I initially planned to, I thought I'd be lucky to lose 15 pounds. So that was my goal. Did you just do that? And I ended up losing, like I said, almost 50. And I was able to see a weight I hadn't seen in over 20 years. So I didn't even really know that was possible, nor did I think that was possible without killing yourself in the gym and starving yourself. That was just what I knew. You ate less, you exercised more, and that's how you lost weight. And I quickly realized that this was not about losing weight necessarily, but it was about learning the tools that I needed to keep the weight off forever. And I have. So it's, like I said, it's been over 4 years, and I've had another son since then, and I've been able to keep my weight off. But I think more importantly, I really learned that health doesn't have to feel torturous, that you can actually lose weight and feel really good at the same time if you're doing it the right way. So that's a bit about my journey and what brought me here today. So a little bit about our company. The name of our company is Optavia, in case you weren't aware. We've been around 30 plus years, recommended by over 20,000 doctors, backed by science. We're super proud that we've been in the top 100 most trustworthy companies in America for Forbes magazine more than once. We are traded on the New York Stock Exchange, all kinds of amazing accolades. My personal favorite is just the fuelings that we use, and I'll get into that later, but they are best in class, no artificial anything. They're amazing. So that's a bit about who we are. But who specifically is Optavia? So, I mean, we're a lot of things. So we're really a community of people that we know what it's like to have challenges. We've had challenges in our health, but we're also a community of people who found something that works. So, we're a group of health coaches, health professionals, and clients who come from all kinds of backgrounds, professions, walks of life. But the one thing that we do have in common is that we had a desire to improve our health, and not just our own, but a lot of us have chosen to coach and help those around us. So that's a bit more about Optavia. There's a picture of us from one of our local trainings at the bottom, and I love it just because it shows how diverse and inclusive our company really is. So this is the amazing Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. You can read all these bullet points of accolades about Dr. A, but I think aside from being a best-selling author and a co-founder of Optavia, I really think the most important thing that I could convey to you about Dr. A is really just that he's the most passionate man I've ever met, who just genuinely cares about people. He walked away from a really successful practice because he knew he was just putting Band-Aids on people, and he knew that these health conditions that he was treating were really preventable. And he had grown frustrated and just disillusioned with medicine, and he just needed to try a different way. And so he took a huge leap of faith, which obviously I'm really happy he did because it changed my life. But Dr. A is really, he's the lifeblood of this company, and he's a big reason why I feel very passionate to be a part of Optavia today. So the Trilogy. So the Trilogy is something that you'll see often once you become a client. But, many people ask, like, you guys are always talking about optimal health. Like, what's that about? And you might have just come on this webinar thinking, I just want to lose weight. So I don't know all the stuff she's talking about optimal health. But really what we mean when we say optimal health is just what is the best health for you? In Optavia, we really start wanting to, most people start by wanting to reach a healthy weight. That's not everybody, but that's a lot of people. And really that's just a start. So, we don't just focus on weight or physical health really, but we're really looking at the whole, like all areas of life. So somebody might be eating right and physically they may be healthy, but if they're stressed out or feeling unfulfilled, or maybe they're struggling financially, then they aren't truly healthy, right? So that's why we offer solutions in all three of these areas. And so this is what we call our Trilogy wheel. And it's really just a tool to help you gauge your health in each of these areas. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we want you to evaluate sort of where you feel you fall on the wheel. So perfect 10s might not be realistic, and that's okay. But we want to improve, right? So as we explore, we're going to explore each triad, and I'm going to ask you to rate yourself and where you think you currently are. And then I want you to think about where you might want to be. So healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances are all very interconnected. And we help you work on all three of these areas as a part of Optavia. So it's not just about the bod. But we're going to talk about the bod now. So healthy body. So let's just start with the first component, physical health. So I want you to take a look at the little graph here in blue and just kind of rate yourself. So a healthy body is certainly more than just being at a healthy weight. So it's also encompassing, getting adequate sleep, drinking enough water. Are you exercising at all those things. So kind of think about where you might fall. If you feel brave, go ahead and put your score in the chat. Not necessary. Definitely something you can talk over with the person that invited you or your coach. But I just want you to start thinking about where you are right now and where you want to be in terms of healthy body. All right. So the best part of this whole thing is going to be the stories that we hear. So we're going to be hearing from 4 different people. And our first person up is Rebecca. So hopefully we can get her unmuted. Yay, Rebecca's unmuted.
Hello.
Hello. So this is the beautiful Rebecca, and she's going to share a bit about her journey.
Great. So I hope everybody can hear me okay. All right. So I actually did this program about 5 years ago when I was trying to become a mom. My husband and I, we had struggled to have children, and I think my weight really did contribute a lot to that. And this program was something that was shared with me from a friend, and it worked fantastic. I lost 60 pounds at that point. But I think really in my heart of hearts, my goal was not the health. My goal was the baby at that point. And so I was not really in it for the long haul. I was in it for a temporary solution. And once that solution came, of course, my health went back out the window. And so then fast forward to a twin pregnancy that I had. So I'm a twin mom. And with that, I really my weight had ballooned back up to my highest weight ever of about 275 with that twin pregnancy. And I had a dislocated hip as a result of that pregnancy too, where I was really I was at rock bottom for sure in regards to my overall health, and just really feeling like I was not able to give myself what I needed, much less my kids what they needed, at the rate that I was going. And so that's really sort of where I started thinking more again about trying to get back on this health journey. But at the time, I thought I could do it on my own, as I'm sure we all have been there. And I tried several different programs, tried several different ways to lose the weight, and I would be successful for a while, but then of course the weight would come back on because it just wasn't sustainable in regards to the meal planning and the meal prepping and all of that went into a lot of plans that are out there. And so actually Optavia was my fallback plan this time around. I was not planning to do it again, but this time I really think that my mental the mental part of it was there, and I needed something, and I knew that Optavia would work. What I didn't know this time around was how it really would transform me completely, to the point that now actually I have become a coach. And this whole thing, me doing this even, is very much outside of the box for me, but I just feel like the convenience of this plan, the simplicity of this program, everything packaged together with the support that is fantastic. You don't get that everywhere. And, for me, it's really what has been the game changer in regards to, not having to focus and worry about what I'm going to be putting into my mouth for every single meal of my day. I like to tell people that I can make one good decision a day. If I know that my Optavia meals are taken care of, I can make one good decision, and that's sustainable for me. And I love that. So as a working, busy mom, that is golden. And, I think in a nutshell, it really has just been transformational all the way around. I mean, I feel amazing. And I'm just so thankful that somebody took the time to share the program with me. And now I'm able to share the program with others. So I'm hoping that that's kind of the gist of what you were looking for in a talk.
For sure. Am I off mute? Okay. Yay. No, that was beautiful, Rebecca. I think it's amazing. And you also signed up your first client today. So that's super exciting. So good. Thank you so much for your share. Very real. So, okay. So key elements to healthy body. So just to kind of talk about this a bit more, we have, there are obviously several keys to healthy body. Right now, we're really helping people focus on getting to a healthy weight first and maintaining it and learning how to do that. But what's great about Optavia is that we don't just leave you off there. So we're really looking at, the eating, the motion. Are you getting enough sleep? I didn't know that was even connected to your weight. How's your stress? I didn't realize how much that was connected to my weight. So I just figured I was always going to be stressed. Like, I didn't know that was something that I could actually work on to change. So that's the cool thing about what we do is your coach really offers the support and tactile ways to actually change these things so that we don't fall back into old habits, because weight is about so much more than just what we're putting in our mouth. It's really a bigger picture than that. So I don't believe James is on yet. So we are going to come back to him. But James, if you're on, go ahead and say so in the message in the chat. If not, I'm going to just come back to you. I don't think he's on. Okay, so we're going to come back. No worries. So in terms of the different categories that we offer, so what we do is we offer 4 different components in order to achieve physical health. So the first thing that you're going to get is your free Optavia health coach. The second thing that you're going to get that you don't even realize that you need so much is the huge community that we have to offer. Dr. A's Habits of Health system, and then the feelings that we often talk about. So those are our 4 components. So kind of to explain the free health coach. So what makes this whole thing so unique really is the first component, and that is your free health coach. So, really a lot of us have tried to lose weight many, many times on our own unsuccessfully. And I think for me, I realized right away that the difference between what I had done in the past and this was that I had someone who had been in my shoes and could walk alongside me and really speak to his own experience as a client. And the accountability that brought me, and just feeling like I wasn't alone and someone could actually relate and answer my questions, was huge. Even though I didn't think I needed a coach at first. I told my coach, don't worry, I'll be fine on my own. I don't need a coach. And now look, I'm a coach. So I definitely saw the importance of it once I was on my journey. And so every single Optavia client receives a free health coach. So that's something that is like no questions asked. The next part is our amazing health community. Again, this is something I didn't think I needed. I thought I could do this by myself, and now I'm all about it. So the community comes in many different forms. We have a really robust online community, which is wonderful for I was a new mom when I started, and I definitely couldn't leave the house and really attend many gatherings, but I had my online community, and so I never felt like I was walking this thing alone. So we have our online community, and we also have a lot of stuff locally. So most of you already know, if you're local to Los Angeles, we're always doing all kinds of different stuff. So your world becomes a lot bigger when you become an Optavia client, because we just wrap you up and drag you to all these fun things. So the community part's huge. And then of course our Habits of Health system. So this is really, again, what sets us apart. Is really we pick up where most diets leave off. So most of them just tell you, this is what you should eat, this is what you shouldn't eat, and just do that. And when you're done, good luck keeping it off. But that's kind of as far as it goes. And so with this, it's really a step-by-step process. So you feel very prepared by the time you get to your goal weight for the after, because you've worked through the Habits of Health system, the workbook, the book. You understand so much more, and I think your education is just so much more in depth that you're so much less fearful about the after. So, once you're a client and you hit your goal, you're not alone. Your coach walks you through transition so that you learn about healthy eating while things get integrated back into your diet. And you're really working through those behaviors that got you there in the first place while you're in weight loss. So we're not just talking about what goes in your mouth. We're examining, maybe poor behavior patterns. What are some things that you do when you're bored or stressed? A lot of us look to food. So we're looking at all of that when you're in the weight loss phase. That way you are good to go once you hit your goal. Okay, and healthy fueling. So this is really the cornerstone of what we do for the weight loss part. So our fuelings are incredible. They help you lose weight quickly. The most popular plan is called the 5-in-1. So you get 5 fuelings a day. So you're eating pretty much every 2 to 3 hours. There's over 100 different options to pick from. So you're certainly never bored or, looking for something different. They all have the same nutritional footprint. So really, no matter what you're grabbing, you're going to get the same amount of calories, carbs, protein. So it's one less thing to think about. You don't have to worry about, what did I have last? What can I have next? You just grab one and go. And then the one of the 5-in-1 is the lean and green meal. And this is the meal that you can either create yourself, or it's very simple to eat out on this plan. And it just consists of lean protein and vegetables. So it's very simple. And this can be had for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It doesn't have to be for dinner. You can split it up. So lots of options. And we have an amazing eating out guide. So you shouldn't feel like you lose the social aspect of eating too. So after you eat like this for about 4 or 5 days, your body will go into a state of fat burning. And anyone that's done this plan will tell you it feels amazing. You have amazing energy. You're definitely less hungry, less cravings. You just start to feel very satisfied and lots of energy, and you feel really good. So that is how we lose weight on this program. And the feelings are super convenient. Most can be used on the go. And then there's a few others that require heating up, but they're super quick. So whether you are doing the 5-in-1 or not, there are lots of options for everybody. So like I said earlier, I did the nursing mom program. We have a teen program, a senior program. We have different programs for different health conditions. So like diabetics, even people with gout. So lots of different options. So don't feel like I have a medical condition that's probably going to stop me. Definitely talk to the person who invited you, because we have a really amazing set of dietitians and nutritionists that we work with too, and nurses and doctors, of course. So we can always figure out what the right thing would be for you. Okay, so I want you guys to kind of ask yourself, okay, I hear what she's saying. But what does it really boil down to? So I think just asking yourself, like, do you think you could stop and eat every 3 hours if it was quick and easy? What about the water? Could I drink at least 64 ounces up to 100 ounces of water a day? Do I want the support of someone who's gone through this before to help me? And I think big enough is just, do I want to be healthy? So I think many of you might be thinking this wouldn't work for me. I've tried everything. I just don't know. Like, that's how I felt. I was just very wary of something that seemed too good to be true. But I'm telling you that if you follow the system that I just described and work closely with your coach and you try the program, after your first week, you're going to see the amazing results. You're going to start to feel amazing. Changes are going to start happening that you didn't even anticipate, like better sleep and all that good stuff. And so, just know that there's really no way to mess this up unless you don't, follow your coach's instructions and eat and stuff. But other than that, this is definitely something that's doable for everybody. So the next part of our trilogy is healthy mind. And that is something that I think is so important and gets so forgotten about. So in Optavia, when we talk about healthy mind, what we're really talking about is being able to organize your life around what matters most to you. And so, just like physical health, a healthy mind is comprised of several different areas. So I want you guys to kind of think and ask yourselves, like, where are you in terms of your relationships with other people? How's your engagement at work? Do you dread Mondays and sort of count down until Friday hits? Do you feel fulfilled in general? So same thing as we rated ourselves on healthy body, I want you guys to rate yourself on healthy mind, scale of 1 to 10. Where do you think you are in this area? So in general, do you feel like you're organizing your life around what matters most? So yeah, I don't know. If you feel comfortable putting that in the chat, that's totally fine. I know for me, oh my gosh, I remember rating myself on this. My coach sent me this Trilogy wheel before we got started, and my score was, I think it was a 2. It might have even been a 1. It was not good. And it's just so different now. Because I've realized that I had to get my head right if I was going to stop yo-yoing. So healthy mind is something we're very, we put a lot of emphasis on. And someone that I've asked to speak about healthy mind is my good friend Candice out there in Boston, Massachusetts. So let's skip to her. So go right ahead, Candice. Hi.
Thank you so much. Can you guys all hear me good?
Yep.
Okay. So I get the healthy mind. So I'm a client of Emily's, and I started with Optavia as a client about 2 years ago. So February of 2016. And first, can you guys just kind of type in the chat, like, why you guys are even here? Like, what kind of prompted you to jump on this? If someone invited you, or, is the reason that you want to get healthy. I just want to read what people have to say while I'm chatting. But I'll tell you quickly a little bit about me. I am 39 almost in like a few days. I have twin 2-year-old boys and a 4-month almost newborn girl. And I am a nurse. I work at Mass General in Boston, crazy NICU. And now I'm a coach. So a little bit about me. This is like probably one of the first big venues where I'm going to say something very vulnerable about myself. I would say when I was a child, I learned very, very early on that food was a comfort. It was something that I went to just make myself feel better or to reward myself. Gosh, I remember sneaking food in the kitchen as a little kid and going privately to eat it and just feeling so good about that. That carried on throughout my childhood, going to the pediatrician's office. I remember them saying, she's overweight and hearing that a lot, but I don't really think looking back like in pictures that I was, but I always knew that I was heavier than I should be and always wanting to sneak and hide food. So early on, I had this like really negative relationship with food. And that was like the footprint that I think kind of stayed with me throughout my whole life up until now. When I was in high school, I was super active. I was dancing. I was on cheer. But I was always still the heavier one. I remember being picked out in the middle of my dance recital that I needed to wear a corset because I was bigger than the other girls, and I'll just never forget that. And then I think at that point I kind of shut down and was like, you know what? I'm going to pretend like I'm fine. Nothing's going to hurt me. I'm good. I don't know if that rings for anybody, but I'm really good at pretending like I'm all good. So after that, I went to college. I went to nursing school and I found out I had hypothyroidism. So I gained another 20 pounds at that point. And obviously was struggling with my weight some more. Then I became a nurse and I was working night shift, crazy hours, barely sleeping, grazing on bad food all day long, but still having these thoughts in my head of shame, like this is bad. I'm no good. I'm gross. Like, ugh, these terrible things I would tell myself. But I don't think I even knew I was saying that to myself. It was just in my own private mind saying bad things. And then I met my husband, who's wonderful and supportive. And I was the heaviest I'd ever been at my wedding, despite going to a personal trainer like 3 times a week and probably could have pulled a Mack truck. But I was never changed my nutrition, didn't know how to do that. Then I started fertility medication because I wanted to have a baby, and I went through infertility pills and shots for about a year, and I got pregnant with twins. So obviously the best thing in my life was having those boys, but about 5 months after having the boys, I was still in my maternity clothes, and I kept seeing Emily's pictures before and after. Oh God, I know this girl. She's for real. I know that that's her and that's her. It's not a scam. I might reach out to her. So it took me a few months to do so. And I remember finally doing it and telling my husband, I'm going to do this thing for a month. I don't want to hear about it if I don't do it after that, but I'm doing it for a month and that's it. I fully expected to fail. And within the first week, I lost 6 pounds. Okay, great. The first 3 weeks I was already down 10 and I think 12 in my first month. And I was so excited. This was the first time I didn't feel like hell. I felt just like, oh my God, the layer of like disgust was kind of peeling off me. Being a new mom is very isolating. So it was just something for me that was just so cool. My energy got awesome. I was just so energized. I was so excited to be a mom. And in 3.5 months, I lost 33 pounds and I surpassed my initial goal with Emily's help. So my basic thing is that You can lose weight on anything, if you put your mind to it. But the fact that you have this emotional component of a health coach to walk you through your struggles that you maybe had in life. I know that now I know what my triggers are. I don't have this crazy obsession with food anymore. I don't have this negative relationship with it. I don't have to worry about it. And it's so freeing. My anxiety is down. I was able to get pregnant a second time, and I have my little girl, and I'm already almost back down to my pregnancy weight, and it's not an issue. So I am able to have fun, to be active with my kids. My family's healthier for it, and I'm so thankful for Emily and to be part of this amazing program. And that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Candice. I'm so grateful for you. And I know that there's a lot of moms and women out there that will relate to that. And I think that one of the hugest blessings is that we got to have really healthy pregnancies after we had the program. And for me, my second pregnancy was so different because I had all these tools now, and I didn't gain an unhealthy amount of weight. I gained what I was supposed to. But again, I wasn't trying. It just becomes inherent in what you do. And I remember feeling like I could be pregnant forever. I didn't have that stage of feeling like I was so big and uncomfortable that I was almost handicapped. I just felt good the entire time. Like I remember actually saying, I feel like I could be pregnant forever, which was a very different feeling because first pregnancy, I literally had to have my husband like push me out of bed to use the restroom. And it was like hard to get out of the car. Like I gained so much weight. It was ridiculous. So the habits are definitely not just to lose weight, but it's really more a lifetime. So thank you so much. Our last component of our trilogy is, of course, finances. So when we talk about finances, we're not really, we don't mean it in a way of, speaking in terms of money and wealth. It's really more just about living an abundant life, whatever that means to you. And that means something very different to each and every one of you. So for me, a big part of that was being able to make enough to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. Even though I live in Los Angeles and it's very expensive to live here. So one of my dreams that was fulfilled by the healthy finances was certainly being able to work from home and organize my life around what matters most, which is my family. But healthy finances for you could mean getting out of debt. It could mean finally being able to give to charities that you've always been passionate about but never had the extra to give. Being able to, if a loved one was to fall ill, would you be able to leave tomorrow and just go be by their bedside? Sending your kid to the school that you really, really want to. Being able to leave a legacy. So healthy finances is definitely abundance. And I'm someone who I've always worked and I've always worked really hard, but not necessarily was I always compensated appropriately, like for my worth. And I think it's just really important that we find a way to bring in money in a way that is good for us, good for our hearts and souls. So the next friend that I'm going to bring on is my girl, Ashley. And Ashley comes to us from South Dakota, and she's going to share a little bit more about herself.
Hey guys. All right. So I've actually been on this journey for the past 3 years. And if I had to kind of sum up my journey in one word, that would be freedom. So I got started after I had my third child, and I was just already overweight before I started my pregnancies and had struggled emotionally a lot growing up, overweight, all of those things, they kind of just come with you, and then you have babies and it kind of compounds. Even if you're not having babies or anything like that, having extra weight and then emotional things, all of that stuff can add up. And that's where I was. And I felt very trapped and helpless in that state. And really just, I didn't know what to do at that point. I just felt so helpless. And then I found Emily and I found this program. And so I decided to give it a go. And I ended up losing 60 pounds in 6 months, which was baffling to me. I didn't know that was even possible. That wasn't even a goal that I had set out originally. But once I got started, I felt so great. I had energy despite having a new baby and not sleeping, that I just wanted to continue getting healthier and see what that looks like. So I was able to go on to lose the 60 pounds while nursing. And the freedom really came for me when I started feeling that hope coming back in, that I could be different than what I was feeling. Because in those times, I was just going through the motions of my day. I was very irritable, not a happy mom at all, and I knew that's not what I wanted to be. So once I started having that confidence come back and those little glimmers of hopes that I could actually start creating a better life for myself and I didn't have to stay stuck there, it was so freeing and just kind of opened up a whole new world for me. And that's really when I kind of got the vision and I wanted to share this with other people, because I know so many people who felt stuck, and that you kind of just give up on hope on that ever being for you. That's just for those other special people. So I just love telling people, it's not special. It can be for you for sure if you want it. And that's something that I'm really passionate about. And so when I started coaching, I was a stay-at-home mom. I had 3 kids. Now I have 4. And, when you're kind of in your normal routine, you don't really realize how much you're struggling. I thought we were doing okay financially, but then again, having 4 kids, it's really hard. There's always things that come up, medical things, stuff like that. And, if there was a big expense, we would be dipping into our super low savings and hoping we would kind of make it. And, I wanted to stay home, but there was always that thought, what if I have to go back to work? Would I work part-time? Would I work full-time? Like, what was that even look like with 4 kids? Would it be worth it for a daycare? All of those questions kind of come to your mind when you're in that hard space. So for me, when I started, I really just wanted to make maybe $500 so I can have that wiggle room if there was, your kid gets sick and you have to go get an x-ray if they have pneumonia or something. Just those little incidentals that can pop up. Having that breathing room was huge for us in our marriage. Just having that was so freeing as well. Now I have the blessing of making like almost 10 times that much, which is crazy and exciting, and was definitely not my goal when I started. Again, I just wanted to kind of give us some breathing room. So whatever your goals are as far as your financials go, you can definitely do that. When we started, we never really did family trips. We didn't have enough abundance to be able to do that. If we wanted to do something like that, we were definitely saving, planning ahead. It was always kind of stressful. And now, we can on a whim go ahead and plan something with our family. I don't have to stress about it. In that picture there, my husband and I were able to go on our 10-year anniversary. We went to an all-inclusive resort that I was able to pay for in cash. And a lot of times, as a mom or as parents, you have a lot of guilt that comes with spending money or, treating yourself. It's just been such a blessing to us to not have that guilt of, I want to spend time with my husband. You're in the hardship of parenting and it gets tough sometimes. So having that time together was huge for us. And that freedom to, one, be able to go because I can work from anywhere, however I want to. And also to be able to afford to do that was amazing. Down on the left, I was also able to buy our family a new vehicle my first year as a coach, which was crazy for me because we would always buy like the lower model of car, really cheap. We had to sell our old car first. We had to get a loan. So this long process. So that's, we just kind of went ahead and got it and were able to pay for it. And it was amazing. such a huge blessing for us. Sorry. So it's just been amazing for me. I've grown so much on this journey, and really having that freedom to stretch and grow and learn about yourself. I was definitely a self-doubter when I started this. I never thought I would be a coach. I never thought I would be a leader. Helping other people, health was not my thing, but through this process, through this journey, improving myself physically first, the mental shifts came when I wasn't obsessing about my weight. That stuff all started falling into place, growing stronger, prouder, you get more confident. You kind of just become this amazing version of yourself. I knew when I was in that rut that that's not what I was created to do. I was created to have a huge, abundant life. That's what I was created to do. I was created to reflect my Creator and really reflect that to other people, to be inspiring. And it's just been such an amazing gift to be able to do that and show others that that's possible for them. And so I'm really thankful that I get to be a part of this mission and share what's happened for me, share that freedom with other people that are looking for that.
Aww, beautiful. I love it. And just to think, Ashley, like you and I both, we just came to this because we just wanted to lose some weight. Like that's all we saw it as, was just a weight loss thing. And now I get chills sitting here listening to Ashley talk about how much her life has changed. And she definitely did not get into coaching because she wanted to make $1 million. She just wanted, she wanted to help people. And this is kind of just the side effect of what happens when you start helping people around you. So thank you so much, girl. So real quick, I just wanted to go over some statistics about how financially unhealthy we kind of are in this country. So these are kind of bummers. So this isn't the most uplifting slide, but I think it's important that we understand most people's reality. And the reality is that 40% of Americans plan to work until they drop. No retirement plans. They're just going to work until the day they die. Not super happy. 62% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings to cover emergencies. 21% have zero savings to cover emergencies. 29% have less than $1,000 in their retirement, hence working until they drop. And 46% of Americans have less than $10,000 in retirement savings. So I just want to briefly show you what helping a few people could look like as an Optavia health coach. Whether you want to help one friend or a lot of people, we as coaches do it all. So, but just to give you an idea, helping about 5 friends or family per month would be around a little under $500, or helping 25 people a month would make about, $2,882 a month. So, yeah, we just want to give people an idea of what being an Optavia health coach might look like. So why consider coaching with Optavia? For one, the accountability. So coaches who coach with Optavia, they did a study with Johns Hopkins, and they found out that coaches through Optavia were 5 times more likely to keep their own weight off. So when I heard that, I was kind of like, oh, so you're telling me if I coach, it's almost like insurance on my weight loss. And I kind of think it's true, because as someone who historically I was a yo-yoer, it's been almost over 4 years, 5 years, and I've been able to keep my weight off, which is crazy. So obviously the financial and time freedom, we talked about that, being able to design your life the way you want it, working with people of integrity, being a part of this amazing community. The support and mentorship is unreal. I've had more, I think, coaching and support as a health coach than I did in my old profession. Even though I had, lots of training and development, what you get through Optavia is like next level. So we definitely don't have to be experts. We're not dietitians. We're not personal trainers. We're simply people who have done the program and want to pay it forward. So you definitely don't have to be at your goal weight. This is not about being perfect. We're all on our journey in some way, shape, or form. And being at your goal weight isn't like the green light for now you can help people. I always joke, if you're 1 bar ahead of the next guy, 1 meal replacement, 1 fueling away, you can help the next person, because our program's just that easy. And then being able to build a really substantial business with a very small time commitment is pretty amazing. So I know James is on now, so I'm actually going to scroll back to him. And Ashley, if you could unmute him. We're going to get back to James. There he is. So James, are you off mute?
I think so.
Yay! Okay, so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you wouldn't mind just giving us a little share and we'll listen.
Yeah, I would love to. Thanks for having me, and I'm sorry I was late, but I'm glad to be able to share what my journey has looked like. Today is the 100th day that I have been on Optavia, and I've lost 39.7 pounds in that time. So it's remarkable for me. It's just astonishing. Way better results than I expected. It wasn't really that hard for me to resist the cravings to eat badly. The fuelings work really nicely with my schedule, and I just, when I start to feel hungry, it turns out being time for another fueling, and so I eat one, and I drink about 32 ounces of water, and it just goes away. I don't think about it for another 2 to 3 hours. It's almost as if it was designed that way. Occasionally I'll go to the refrigerator and grab a pepperoncini. I keep a big jar of them in there, because I really like strong tastes. I like, vinegar, spicy, citrus, that kind of stuff. But the problem was that I never was really able to cook for myself, and I tend to be a really heavy-handed cook. So I end up kind of making food a lot of the time that would be unpalatable, like completely inedible. And because of this, the one meal every day is so important that I started putting a lot of care and thought into it. But I don't have a lot of time because I'm in grad school, I'm in a medical program, and so really all of my spare time is spoken for. But I have come up with a bunch of meals that I really like, that have very strong taste, but they're delicious, and I can literally, from opening the fridge to setting the plate down on the table, take me 20 minutes to make. And some of them are buffalo chicken strips on green salad, and imperial rolls, which is kind of a ripoff of Emily's exploded or inside out egg rolls that I just love. We eat that at least once a week, by the way. It's amazing. I make teriyaki bowls and lemon chicken piccata, seared ahi tuna, and all of these, and of course steak and pork chops, some of the go-tos. And every morning when I get up and I weigh myself, even if I haven't lost weight or if I've gained a little bit from the day before, just thinking about how much I've lost and how far I've come is its own gift. And I do feel like every morning I get to unwrap this little present of how well I've done on this goal that I set for myself. I actually track my weight with my Fitbit, and it gives me a little graph that shows like the weight loss over the last week or over the last month, over the last 3 months. And so it's pretty remarkable to see that 40 pounds lost over just over 3 months. It's really cool. But I have cheated a couple of times, more than a couple of times. And what's amazing about it is that when I do, I feel so lethargic. I mean, all the feelings of shame and whatever aside, I just feel bloated and lethargic. I start to feel slow. And I realize that those foods that I, crave in my mind, once I'm actually eating them, they're not really as satisfying as I thought they were going to be. And it took getting away from them, I think, and really seeing how good food can make me feel for that to take place. I love when I finish my lean and green and I just stand up from my chair and it feels so light and easy. And, I'm more active, which means I sleep better. I go into far more deep sleep at night. And, I'm in this graduate program. I see my classmates in the afternoon doldrums and they're like falling asleep. They can't, they're grabbing like quad espressos to try and make it through the afternoon class. And I'm just focused and light and there. I have energy. I drink, I used to be one of those coffee drinkers all throughout the day, but I drink 1 or 2 cups in the morning and that gets me going and I have enough energy to do everything that I do. I do exercise a little bit. I take my dogs on a walk every day. We walk between 1 mile and 3 miles, depending on how far I feel like going. But I'm certainly not like a gym guy. I'm not out there, you know, working out for hours every day. And so, you know, just like a brisk walk for 20 minutes to an hour every day and just eating right, I've had these kind of results and on this program. So it's been an absolute gift to my life. And what more can I say? Look at the pictures. They kind of say it all, don't they?
Oh, it's true. They do. And I've been so impressed with the amazing recipes that you've come up with. And yeah, it's just been a joy to watch you and Rose on this journey. So really good attitude about it. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Yay. All right. So we're going to go right back to where we were, like it never happened. Yay. We've reached the end. But really, guys, I want you, if you know, get back with the person who invited you or sent you this, and maybe you're watching the playback. They definitely sent it because you were on their heart for whatever reason. Maybe you've already started that conversation. But I guess what I just really want you guys to think about is, I know we're headed into the new year and everyone starts thinking about resolutions. I don't really want to see you guys all focus on weight-related resolutions, but really think about the whole trilogy. So I would think about what goals you have for yourself. If physically you do need a goal, great. But what about a healthy mind goal? What about a financial goal? Because I think if we kind of just wish and aren't really clear and specific about what we want, we never end up reaching our goals of what we truly, truly desire. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you had a good time. I want to thank Ashley and Candice, Rebecca, and James for being so vulnerable and sharing their stories. And I know that brought a lot of value to everyone's evening. And so with that, I will say good night and hope everyone has a good rest of their evening. Bye, guys.